Hey everyone, I'm Charlie Hill. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer at Harbor. And today I'd like to take the chance to walk you through some updates that we have coming for the monitor. This is not meant to be a super polished video. This is probably going to be a little bit raw. You're going to see some jump cuts because if I overly edit it, it's just going to slow me down in providing these updates in the future. And I'd like to be doing these more often. I should have done them in the past. I'm going to be trying to provide a visual walkthrough with an actual overlay of the user interface for every major update. We do different types of updates at Harbor. On the monitor, you're going to see it probably the next time that you boot it up. The camera updates, you'll see the prompt for those inside of the mobile application. And then the mobile app will typically automatically update depending upon how you have your phone configured. And the desktop app, same thing, it'll automatically update. By the way, if you didn't know we have a desktop application, please use it. It's really good. First customers that see this update probably would be the week of July 21st, but later in that week. We typically roll out releases in a slow fashion so that if there are any bugs or issues that got past quality assurance, if customers report them, it's only impacting some customers and we're able to resolve them, retest, redeploy in a slow fashion until essentially we get the release out across the entire customer base. All right, first update that I want to talk through is brightness control. So previously was in settings, so you have to go here, settings, and then scroll down to brightness. That's not intuitive, I agree, I hear you. So we changed it to where you can just pull down from the top and then change that. Also now in settings, you will be able to schedule it to where at certain times of the day, it kicks on. Another brightness control, it's not really brightness, it's hue. So you'll find this in monitor settings and you'll be able to schedule this as well. But if you notice, like right now, I've got kind of a sepia filter and that's out at night. Obviously it just reduces that blue light sensitivity that we all have whenever we wake up in the middle of the night. Okay, new alert behavior. Oh, I just got an alert from, this is a different camera. You'll see it's got a little red box. I'll talk about this later. It's got a little red box around me because it's detecting me as an adult in the room. And if you notice, you heard like a little ding. Okay, so in settings, you can now go down to motion and audio alert behavior. So before it was like a little drop down and you chose one. This time you just click through which one you want. So the options are wake up screen, play alert, and unmute camera. This reintroduces a feature that we used to have that we pulled back on a couple of releases ago. Previously, when you had the monitor in constant mode, but the camera feed muted, if there was an alert, audio alert, sound alert, it would unmute the camera feed. Now we pulled back on that because some people didn't like that automatic behavior. Now you have the option to trigger that once again. Obviously in smart audio mode, if there's an audio alert, it unmutes the feed always. Alert volume control. So had some folks say that the camera disconnect alert, so if there's a power issue to the camera or some sort of network connectivity issue, that the disconnect alert was either too loud or too soft. So this affects the ding that you hear for motion or audio alerts, and it also affects the disconnect alert. So you can adjust that. Noise suppression. So this was partially rolled out already, so some customers may have this, but inside of settings, if you scroll down in the volume and alerts area, you're going to see the option to turn on noise suppression. This is going to almost mute the background noise and ambient noise inside of the room. So I would consider a beta feature, and feel free to give us your feedback on it. Two-way audio communication. So what I mean by two-way is talking to the camera and being able to hear what's coming back from the other side. So typically this is to a toddler, and the way it behaved before is you would long press the microphone button and then you would just talk. And whenever you wanted to end the conversation, you press the microphone button again. And the mobile app behaved the same way. You could have a full duplex conversation with your little one on the other end. We're the only product in the market that behaves this way. Other products have simplex communication. So what's the difference between simplex and duplex? Simplex is walkie-talkie style. And the challenge with that is sometimes you'll be talking, the other person's trying to talk to you, right? Your toddler's trying to talk to you and you can see their mouth moving on the other end, but you can't hear what they're saying. Say it again. This happened to me all the time whenever we were using a competitive product before Harbor existed. Duplex is like a phone call, right? You can hear and you can talk. Nobody has issues talking over each other, typically. By the way, very proud of the fact that we're the only in the market that offer duplex and maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if you know of another system that offers full duplex conversations like we do. The challenge with that is that the speakers are here and the microphone, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know it, I recently got that piece of feedback from a customer. He's like, where is the microphone? Not sure where to talk. It's these holes up here. So typically it shouldn't matter. You can talk to it, anywhere within arm's distance. Sure, it increases the volume if you kind of talk into the mic, but you shouldn't have to do that. The challenge is that with the duplex side is that somebody on the camera side, they would be talking, their voice would be coming out of the monitor here, and the microphone's right here. Now, we knew that going into it, and we have some echo cancellation, some feedback cancellation mechanisms in there. The way that we've changed the two-way audio feature is now you long press to talk, and you'll see an animation. I have to stop talking, otherwise I'm right next to the camera. That is not conducive to me being able to think while I'm talking. So you long press, you'll see an animation light up around your finger, and you hold it while you're talking. It does slightly mute the audio coming back from the camera. So your child talking to the camera, you can still hear them, but it's going to soften their voice just a little bit. And the fact that you have to keep your finger there while you're talking reduces that risk of like the microphone is just left on and now the person on the camera side is hearing themselves. Bottom line is, hopefully you like the new two-way audio feature. Long press, keep talking while you're pressing, let go. The mobile apps will mirror this behavior very soon. So it may not be perfectly in sync, meaning like when this monitor update comes out, the mobile app version that has the same behavior may not be ready, but it'll be like within a week. Okay, the next update most folks won't notice, that is that the avatars or names, initials, it'll no longer collapse. Like before, you'd see like one person and then like +2. Now it'll list out more folks, and you really need to, like I said, have like a nanny plus the two parents to really notice the difference. Okay, this next update is less about the monitor behavior or user interface. Some of you who are more tech advanced may have noticed that whenever the monitor first entered standard mode, when it joined your home network, that you saw an Android device join the network. Obviously, and out of transparency, the monitor is based on the Android operating system. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, you should start to see, instead of Android device, you'll see Harbor monitor, much like the Harbor camera does. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk through today. This update is meant to bring you, our customers, more comfort, clarity, and control for your monitor. And I would like to do these more often. I'm totally open to feedback around presentation style. Maybe some of it was TMI. I'm trying to hit a proper middle ground. I'm also not trying to make these overly polished because we have stuff coming out all the time. We try to have a relatively high product velocity, meaning like new features, new improvements, quality of life, just tuning, polish. And if I were to put together a very formal video with perfect editing and perfect script, as you can tell, this is relatively unscripted. I have some notes, but essentially it would just slow things down. Also open to feedback around features or polish. I say polish, I mean just like things that would improve the experience. Throw them in the comments. Let me know. I listen. I'm here. I will be doing a full roadmap walkthrough very soon. If it's not this week, it'll be next week. And that's talking about some of the bigger things that we have coming down the pipe. I also have other releases to talk through. We have a camera release, camera firmware update coming probably within the next 3 weeks to a month. I'll include the beta version of our AI that is released en masse. Everybody will be able to adopt it. And I think you saw earlier, like it was picking me up as an adult. It will also pick up children. You can set your alerts to only alert whenever the children is in frame. That will lead into some version of Sleep Insights over the next 2 to 3 months. And what I mean by Sleep Insights are, there is a competitive product out there. I hear you. People that have switched from that to us say like, yeah, but the one thing that I miss is like knowing how long my child slept at night and what time they went to sleep and how many times they woke up, how many, what time they were taken out of the crib. Heard. Close, very close. So the AI detection, and by the way, ours is done on the camera. Big difference. Everybody else does AI in the cloud. So that means your video and audio are being processed by who knows where. The camera has a processor inside of it, And it also has a vector processor on it. So a vector processor is specifically made to do neural networks. And so inside of the camera, very soon, it'll be running its own AI models and detecting child and adults at the edge. Okay, thank you for your time. Really appreciate you being our customers. I want to hear your feedback. I hope you have a great day.